Hello everybody, it's Christine. It's time for Off the Board with Pineapple Papers, which is where you take a Pinterest, a saved pin, and you make, a layout based on your pin. Now some people do mood boards, some people do just, honestly, I saw one the other day, she used a sweater and I thought that was kind of neat. But I've got this one. It is a Coco Vanilla Studio, I think it's a design team layout. I just wasn't, I like all the hexagons, honestly. I just think it's kind of neat. And so I pulled out my, what did I do with it, y'all? Here it is. I got my hexagon die here and my Big Shot. And she's got two photos, but hers are horizontal, but I'm going to switch it. Because I just took some pictures of our house this fall. And you can just see, like, we eat so many leaves, y'all. This isn't even, frankly, as visible as you should, as a kid is. It's like bags and bags and bags and bags of leaves. So you can kind of see them here, and then in our backyard. This is a stone patio, y'all, and there's leaves, it's like snow's leaves. So I got those. And then what I have is the Scrap Room Flavors of the Month for October. There came with a Cartabella Fall Fun. And it came with the 3 sheets of paper, a couple cardstock, and then it came with these stickers. And then I have these little, like, mini flare, I guess. And then I pulled out, because she has on her thing, she has sprinkles. So I've got the Distressed Oxide Forest Moss and Rusty Hinge. And then I did have to get, there's not a title really in my mind on these stickers. I mean, you could probably use something kind of small, but I want to do something bigger. So I do have this Hello. And, where's it at? Oh, here, it's Home and Hello. So I might say Hello Fall Home or something like that. And I do have some regular letters I'm going to pull out to do fall, I think. So I haven't figured those out yet, but I will. So that's what I got going on. Let me trim my pictures, and I'm going to cut all my hexagons out, and I will be back on. Oh, and also I think I'm going to frame. I'm going to use this plaid as a frame on my cardstock because I think that'll be pretty. So I have this. I'm sorry, you guys. I always tend to ramble anymore. So this will kind of be on top of this, and then my little hexagons will come around is what I'm thinking I'm going to do. And I might map my photos in this stuff. I don't really need the sunflowers. I don't take too many sunflower pictures. So that's what I'm starting with. I'll be back on in a minute. Okay, you guys, so I have trimmed down my white cardstock by 1/2 inch on each side so that my little plaid frame is going to show. And I'm going to start with my orange. And I forgot what color it was now, y'all. Not Card Pumpkin. It's the, Rusty Hinge. That's what it was. And I just kind of put it on my little mixed media mat, and I'm going to put a little water there and go around. At this point, I've also used my hexagon die and cut out my hexagons. I am going to use, in a minute you're going to see, she had varying patterns, if I'm honest. I think she used very different pieces out of the whole collection. I just have my one piece, so I'm going to go back and forth. I wished I'd had one more pattern, or I probably could have used one more pattern, but I'll just use the two, the front and the back side of the same piece of paper. Because it does cause me a little angst there toward the end. I had started putting it all down, and I realized I had organized it in such a way I was going to have two of the same patterns next to each other. I didn't like that, so I'm going to have to mess with it. I don't put that on camera. You'll see the end product, and I figure out a solution, but I'm not going to tell you I love it the most, but that's okay. Embellishments cover up everything, right? So here is where I'm going to start kind of going, okay, how do I want this to look? And I really overcomplicate this. I start with the corner because I noticed that she had the corner. And I do like this, though, how the corners kind of take up space and look kind of neat. You'll see in just a second. I'm going to do this. And, again, I'm going to kind of overcomplicate this. I don't know why I thought to myself I need to do one at a time. I just don't know what I was thinking. I mean, I will use kind of the cut-off pieces. You can kind of even see it there. I use the cut-off pieces to build, like, the shapes in that are not full, well, none of them are full hexagons, but then I got that other corner over there, and I'm just going to kind of come along and do different heights, different, varying sizes of these. When I say sizes, meaning like how far deep into the page it's going. And so that's going to take me just a second. I'll use this, like I said, I'm kind of going through here and overcomplicating this most likely, but that's what I do, that's what I do. So this little piece here is going to go in that other little section right there next to that. And I think I actually end up making it smaller because it looked a little bit too like even with the other red piece. And so I'm going to end up bringing that down and using less. But I like how this turns out, though. I'm really pleased with it. I'm going to use the green polka dot as photo mats. I still had quite a bit of my green polka dot left. And I thought to gut the plaid that I'm going to use as the frame, and I didn't. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't need any more paper, y'all. And fall, anyway, if I'm 100% honest with you, we have a very short fall here in Texas, y'all. It's basically about 3 or 4 weeks. And I say that. And the leaves, so we're blessed. We have this really gorgeous neighborhood with all these trees. And you can kind of see in the photo of the house, that's our house, that's the height of the trees, right? They're just gorgeous, ginormous trees. And y'all, when the leaves start to fall, it's just like snow. The leaves just snow down. And this picture is taken, or these two pictures rather, are taken on a weekend. They've been falling for, I guess, about maybe 2 weeks, maybe. And it was still like, I don't remember. I need to go back and I'll look at the date. It's the third week in November. So you think, oh, okay. No, there's still tons of leaves, y'all. My husband, the very first fall we were here, he tried to start raking, kind of early November because he's like, oh, the leaves are falling. That poor man spent so many hours and it was like nothing. He did nothing like the next day, like he had done nothing. And I told him, I said, stop doing that. I said, you're wasting your time. You might as well let all the leaves kind of fall and then go after it, right? And so he kind of, last year, he does kind of do a little bit of like maintenance leaf raking, if that makes any sense. And then we pay the yard guy to come do. Well, last year we had a different yard guy. And I shouldn't even tell y'all all this, but he wanted $80 an hour. And it's like, good Lord, well, how many hours is it going to take you? So I don't remember the exact amount we paid him, but it was several, a couple $100 or whatever, give or take. But my husband was still raking. I mean, it was kind of ridiculous. Like, why are we paying all this money? And the guy didn't do a good job, honestly. They just kind of took care of some of it and then left half of it piled up. It wasn't a good thing. So we've changed yard guys. And that guy came yesterday to tell us, and y'all, this is the first week of December, and he's like $400. I'm like, oh my God, $400 to rake the leaves. Y'all, it's a lot of leaves. So, okay, I've got my hexagons all down. Look at that, y'all. I think that turned out real cute. It's my upper left corner where I had to kind of finagle the pattern so that it wasn't two reds next to each other or two leaves next to each other. So I don't think you notice it toward the end because I will put the embellishments and stuff up there, and I think it looks okay. But that kind of irritates me just a little bit, but it is what it is. Now, I've decided my title is going to be Hello Fall Home, and I did not have an A. So, and I think this little font here, I have had this 100 years. I don't even remember who made it. I don't know what it came in. No idea, but it's kind of neat. It's foam. And so I took a P, I think it was a P or a D. It might be a D. And I cut off the top of it to make my A. And I think that looks good. Now, I will tell you, I fassed around with that hello a little bit too, because I had put the left-hand photo up on foam, and hello kind of needed to it needed to touch the photo. It needed to go over it. But I got a little worried. I'm like, is this going to stay? It was creating a bit of an angle with the letters. So I thought, well, maybe I'll pull it down. Maybe I'll reorganize it. So I fassed around for this just a minute. But I didn't care for it. It needed to be up on the photo, y'all. That's just where it needed to go. So I even messed with this just a little bit. I end up ultimately just putting some wet glue and going, okay, you'll just stay that way. We're going to wet glue you to the paper, and I'm going to wet glue you to the top of the photo. So I do have a little bit of a strange little angle of the L's and the H's. It's gonna lean up if you want to think of it that way. But I'm okay with that. Okay, so then I know I'm going to get into the sticker. She had a couple of words on the right-hand side over there, which was perfect. So I got fall leaves and leaves are falling. It takes me just a second, y'all. When there's a lot of words, you have to kind of read them individually, right? So I find the little green and it says fall leaves immediately, but then I have to kind of keep looking. Oh, by the way, I got my nails done yesterday, y'all. Look at that. I got that kind of pretty purple color on there. My daughter wanted to get her nails done. She's thinking she's getting engaged this month, y'all. So she's got to make sure her nails look good all month, she says. I'm excited. She's found her a nice boy. I've talked about him a couple times on the videos and stuff. He's cute. He's adorable. I love him. So not a bad thing at all. Let's see. Found a little house on here. I like this a lot. Now, that being said, it's 2-story. Our house is 1-story, but still it's a house. So, and we're talking about leaves falling around the house, right? And there was this nice little floral. She did have like florals and stuff. And I have to make it work. I did find that tree over there on the right-hand side too. It's got those fall leaves and stuff on it. And I was real happy about that. And I think I'm finding just random little things now. I found a little fall wreath. I start off with the word home on top of the little fall wreath. I haven't put that down yet. I'm fixing to, I think. On the left-hand side of fall. There it is. I'll put that down. But I end up changing out that word there. It doesn't say home because I'm like, that's kind of silly. I got home and home. I'll end up finding there's a tiny, tiny little words that says fall fun, and I'll put that on top of there. Also, I found this little squirrel. Do y'all see him up by the tree? That is so cute. And we do have a ton of squirrels, y'all. I think they come to our yard. We don't have a dog or anything, so I think they come to our yard because there's nothing chasing them. So they hang out in there. So we do have tons of squirrels. This little word here is grateful, grateful heart rather. And she kind of had a little word up there. I'm going to end up, she had a little more of a double fishtail banner deal on hers, but I'll just put that on a little bit of foam as well. And I'm also just finding little pieces of like little fall leaves, and there's a little acorn I'm going to find. Just, very, very basic little fall things, I shut my door to my craft room, y'all. So if y'all hear any noises, my cat has come in here and she opened the door. Oh my goodness. When you try to do your voiceovers and people interfere. I find that little circle there. This is home. I think it says home sweet home. Yes, home sweet home. And it's tucked up underneath my little top word there. That's my little acorn I found. I don't use every sticker, and I definitely don't use every wordy sticker. But I do basically kill this kit. I don't have it like the piece of green, like I said, green polka dot paper left, and then a strip of the red that I had cut the hexagons out of. So those have gone into my scrap envelopes. And my fall stickers is going to go into my fall category over in my scrap rack. So I basically killed this kit, and I'm not sad about it. I do pull out my date stamp because I noticed that on her original. And the date's pretty right. It's November 23rd is what I put on here. I don't know if that's the exact day I took this picture because it's not really about the day. It's just about how many leaves we have. And that's close enough for horseshoes and hand grenades, y'all. This little guy here says November, and it is November, so I'll put that up there because I go, okay, that matches. Now, I'm going to end up having to come back through here, y'all, with a bunch of wet glue because these stickers actually are not sticking like at all. So I'm going to put a wet glue behind most of it. I do use foam up on my little squirrel. I put some on the edge of the floral. I'll put some under Grateful Heart. So I put a little bit of foam, not everywhere, but pretty much. And so that's kind of what I do. Then I had those 3 little flares. They're like mini baby flares. And I put the one that has a little basket of fall stuff. And then there was a little pie. That doesn't really go. I started to put the blue one, but I have literally no blue on this layout. So I said, no, you're not going. And that's what I got done, you guys. I think this turned out really pretty. I'm not unhappy with it. And I think it's documented our home with the leaves pretty darn good. So you guys have a wonderful day. There should be a list of videos down below of everybody playing along with the off the board with pineapple papers. And I'm over on Instagram at Scrapping Harden. Make sure you guys go there and follow me there. And we will talk to you guys later. Bye.